Isaiah 41:10. If you don't have the Bible, look on the big screen. Let's go. Fear thou not.
For I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee
with the right hand of my righteousness. Before you take your seat, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't get tricked by your problems. Amen. Don't get tricked by your problems. In other words, if God is all this, then what's the problem? Ask somebody next to you, what's the problem? What's the problem? If God is all this, all that we just read in the 10th verse, I need to know what's the problem. The book of Isaiah is a very interesting book, a book that I love and a book that I often refer to. Many times Isaiah is referred to as the gospel of the Old Testament. In fact, Isaiah writes more Old Testament scriptures concerning Jesus' death, his burial, and his resurrection, his birth. I like Isaiah's writing. He is the son of Amos. He does his writing some 740 years before Christ was born. He writes it during the reign of Ahaz, Jonathan, and Uzziah. His book is interesting because he been given the responsibility to record God's message of judgment upon Israel. It is interesting to me that we often refer to God and reflect upon God as being the God of love and the God of peace and the God of blessings, and many of us do not understand that he is also a God of judgment and a God, I can't get no help up in here, a God that has wrath. And a lot of folks would have you to believe that you could do what you want to do, say what you want to say, act the way you want to act, and then expect God to bless you anyhow. But I come to bust your ignorant bubble. God don't work like that. Turn to somebody and say, God don't work like that. Let me put it to you the way grandmama put it to me. God don't bless mess, boy. And no matter what you do that's out of order, God cannot and God will not bless our mess. And God was sick of Israel's mess. They have a history of doing good and then doing bad. They have a history of standing up and then sitting down. They had a history of following God and then bickering and murmuring and finding themselves in captivity. Captivity is a result of disobedience. And many times when we go through things in life, we want to blame everything on the devil. But if God is our God and we are his children, then God chastens those that he loves. I wish I felt like preaching today. And therefore, his responsibility is to keep you and I where we need to be. I don't know about you, but if my life was perfect, if my life was just the way I planned it since I was a child, if my life had no troubles or trials, if my life did not have any needs, wants, or desires, if I had everything that I ever desired in this life, something tells me, I have a very sneaky suspicion based on me and my track record and what I have done in the past. I just believe that I wouldn't pray as hard if I prayed. I can't get no help up in here. If God done everything that I ever asked him to do, I just don't believe that I would be as close to him as I am right now. What I'm simply trying to tell you, that hard times really wasn't bad times, because what hard times did that good times could not do was put you and I closer to the God that loves us. Turn to somebody and say, you ought to thank God for your hard times. Your hard times reveal to you who God is, and not only reveal to you who God is, but it suggests to you who you is. A lot of us think that we are all that in a bag of chips until something hits our life. We can give advice to everybody in their mama. Girl, if it was me, now if I was you, if I was in that predicament, this is what you wouldn't do anything. Shut up. You don't know what you would do. Let it knock on your door. You be just as crazy as the next person. But we wouldn't know how crazy we would get if God didn't allow some things to happen. You ought to learn to thank God for things that happen that teaches you lessons that you couldn't learn no other way. Do I have a witness in here? You wouldn't learn that you had an insecurity problem until that Negro broke your heart. I can't get no honest help up in here. But it taught you something about yourself, that you was too needy, that you was too dependent, that you looked for happiness in other people. And had not somebody took your heart and smothered it and stepped on it and threw it out the window and looked at you, if they never saw you again, they'll be just fine in life. But in that process, you found out something about yourself. You found out that you was looking for love in all the wrong places. Turn to somebody and say, I got the right one now, baby. I got the right one. At some time or another, most of us have been gripped with fear. We have been afraid that things which happened in the past can hurt us in the present. I call that paranoia. We think that what we did on yesterday is going to come back and bite us on today. So consequently, we don't live today to our full potential because we're too concerned about what happened on yesterday. Folks won't let you forget what happened on yesterday. People won't let you forget what you used to be back in the hood. Folks don't want you to ever forget that what happened on yesterday. But I stopped by to tell you that you cannot and you cannot and should not allow yourself to be a slave to your past failures and your past mistakes. I felt something on that one. Man will enthrone you and keep you tied up forever, reminding you of the person that you used to be. But I believe this today, that was then and this is now. Back then I didn't know that God was able. Back then I wasn't able to trust him. Back then I didn't have the faith. Back then I was just stuck on myself. Back then I wasn't interested in living holy and pleasing God and being righteous. That was then, but this is now. Right now I'm born again. I'm regenerated. I'm revived. Right now I got the blood of Jesus spreaded upon my life. Right now God is taking me places that I've never been before. Right now God is showing me things that I only dreamed about. Right now I'm bathing in the glory of God. Right now God has given me a glimpse of my future. Right now I got purpose. Right now I have vision for my life. Right now I've been delivered. Right now I can testify that was then, but this is now. Turn to somebody and tell them, now I'm going somewhere. Now I'm living. Now I'm picking up the pieces. Now I'm forgetting those things that are behind me. Now I'm pressing towards my mark of the high calling of the prize of God. We have been afraid that things that happened in the past will hunt us in our present and deny us of our future. We have been afraid of what people think about us, things that we did, mistakes that we made. And you know something? People can be cruel to you. Even family. Testify to somebody, say even family. Some people would never let you forget that you used to be a drug addict. Some people would never let you forget that you used to be an alcoholic. You could have had a drink 10 years ago, but they'll talk to you like you just had it this morning. Some people won't let you forget that you had kids out of wedlock. Now all your kids is grown and have graduated, but they still bringing up what you did on yesterday. But the devil is a lie. You'll not let people just dump guilt on you for things that you did on yesterday. Baby, if God forgave me, tell to somebody, say, you ain't got nothing to do with it. You ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't your business. It ain't your business. We have been afraid of our future because of our own insecurities and inadequacies. We have denied ourselves the opportunity to press towards that mark. We've been afraid of ourselves. I can't get no honest help up in here. Oh, yeah. See, you sitting next to people that love God but don't trust themselves. See, you sitting next to people that speaks in tongues and can quote Bible and dance in the church and run laps and can do all of those things, but they know I can't be caught alone in that situation. Everybody in here got some spiritual kryptonite. Everybody got in here that the devil can play 1-2 and can make everybody in here stupid. But I'm simply trying to tell you that everybody got a weakness, and some of us are afraid of ourselves. We strong over here. We ain't so sure about this, and we absolutely know don't go to the far country. Turn to somebody and say, don't go to the far country. Don't go off the block. Don't get too far from the cross. Don't get so far that you can't, as my mama used to say, if I can't smell you, you're too far from me. That's what my mama used to tell. That's what my mama used to say. If I can't smell you, you're too far. That means bring yourself back over here. And sometimes you got to look at that relationship with God. If I can't see God, I'm too far from him. If I can't touch God, I'm too far from God. If I can't hear God, I'm too far from him. When I get too far from God, I fall into that vulnerable zone. So we're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of our circumstances. We have been afraid of many number of things. One of the forms of fear takes is that of worry, and when we are afraid of something, we worry over it. And I could tell by the look in some of you all faces that you have a spirit of worry resting on you. I don't have to ask you. I know what worry look like. I've been there and I've done that. I know that worry will make your eyes roll in the back of your head. Worry make you look like crack, and you ain't been near crack, but your eyes will get all big. You'll get all hyped up. Do I have a witness in here? Worry will make weave get nappy on your head. I can't get no help up in here. Baby, worry will keep you up all night thinking about stuff that don't even matter. Worry will tell you don't nobody love you, don't nobody care about you. You in this thing by yourself, and when the time comes, you ain't gonna be anymore. Everybody have to deal with this demon called worry, and as we continually worry, we make life miserable for ourselves and for those who have to listen to us worry. Now, I love everybody, but I don't like to talk to people that's going through that worrying stage. I can't get no help up in here because that demon is contagious. You fool around and connect with a warrior, a person who just worry all the time. Girl, it's gonna rain. They're worrying about the rain. Girl, it's gonna snow. They're worrying about the snow. Girl, it's getting dark. Girl, it's cold. Girl, it's hot. They worry about everything. When you just listen to a warrior day in and day out, that demon try to sneak through the telephone and get on your land. That demon try to sneak through your front door. But the devil is a lie. Baby, your worry is your worry. Do I have a witness in here? Tell me somebody, say, I ain't got no room for your worry. God is originally in the text speaking to Israel here, but I believe that this verse is applicable to all the born again believers in this house. Notice please that God tells us not to fear. Now this is a command. This is not God asking us and kind of like giving us an option. It's a command not to worry. So that means that when we fear things, when we fear people, when we fear circumstances, we are disobeying God. Can I just put it bluntly? Worry is a sin. Now, the next time somebody asks you, did you sin? You don't have to go back to 1969 when Kennedy was in the White House, baby. You can say, yeah, I did sin. I sinned last week because I was worried because I had to go to traffic court and I didn't want that mark to go against my record. Worrying is a sin. So what I want you to do, what I want you to understand today is that God does not want any of us to worry. What I like about the passage before us this morning is that this verse tells us why we should not fear and why we should not worry. And these reasons are centered on God. And in telling us not to fear, Isaiah is telling us something about God. The only way you cannot worry is that you got to understand who God is. In fact, there are 5 things that we can learn about our God here which should help us to keep from worrying and living in fear and not allowing to be tricked, not allowing ourselves to be tricked by our problems. I got 5 points. Deacon Taylor said that I had to bring 8 today, so I got to think of 3 more before I sit down. He said he needed 8, so I got to find 3 more. I got 5 though. I got 5 things that I need to tell you. That don't get tricked by your problems. If God is all this, then I want to know what's the real problem. Point number 1, need to understand that God is present. Turn to somebody and say, God is present. Notice what the scripture says. It says, fear thou not, for I am with you. God is present. Now, I know that there are times in your life when it feels like, and you probably even think that God is not with you, because some of you all just said, amen, preacher, amen, because it doesn't feel like. Some of us believe that if God is there, there should not be any pain. If God is there, there should not be any dilemma, any troubles, any problems. But understand this: the presence of problems does not mean the absence of God. The presence of temptations and tribulation is not the absence of God. If God tells you that I am present, trust me, he's present. See, you need to grow to the point in your spiritual life that you don't need to hold God's hand as you walk through the garden of life. You need to grow to the point that even when you cannot see God, when you cannot feel God, you got to know in your heart that God is with me, not because I feel him, but because he made me a promise that, lo, I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world. So you got to understand that God cannot leave me. God is present. He is present. He's with you. He's right there with you in your hurt, in your pain, in your storm, in your letdown, in your disillusionment. God is there in your bad marriage, in your brokenness, in your insecurity, in your inadequacies. God is there. You got to understand that he says that fear thou not, for I am with you. God does not want you to be tricked by your problems and believing that he is not there. The devil wants you to believe that God don't know where you are, that he don't know what you're going through, that he don't understand your pain. But the scripture confirms with me today that God is present. He's omnipresent, meaning that he's in every minute, he's in every second, he's in every nanosecond. There's not a spot that God is not. There's not a place that God does not occupy. God compasses time. He's everywhere. There's nowhere you can go that God is not there before you get there. And I beg to differ with some of my religious folks who believe that God do not hang out in the dark places in life. Folks that believe that God only hangs out in the church house, in the sanctuary. If that was so, some of you all would have never been delivered from your crack houses. From the street, I can't get no help in here. From your gang affiliation, some of you all would have never been delivered from those dark places. But I'm glad that God is bad enough and bold enough that he can come where I am and deal with me on the level that I am. And God would not bomb rush me with guilt, but would extend his hand and say, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Turn to somebody and say, God is present. If God is present, then what is the problem? Why are you tripping? Why are you worrying? Why are you complaining if God is present? Now, you cannot have it both ways. You cannot shout and read Bible and pray and do scriptures and do all the things that we do as believers. We cannot do that on one side and then worry on the other side. You can't have it both ways. That's a contradiction of our faith. You cannot say that God have already worked it out and then you act like God haven't done a thing. Let me step in your business real quick here today. Listen here, if you've been praying, then stop worrying. If you're going to worry, don't pray. You can't do both. You cannot worry and pray and worry. Baby, if you're going to worry, shut your mouth and don't pray, because prayer and worry cannot live in the same house, cannot occupy the same temple, cannot be in the same sentence. If God see worry, he don't hear the prayers. But if you're going to pray about it, then you don't have to worry about it. What I'm simply trying to suggest to you is that I'm about to ring the bell, and when I ring the bell, you are free from your worry. When I ring the bell, you can tell yourself to let it go. Ding dong, turn to somebody and say, let it go. Baby, let it go. Get rid of your worry. Let it go. God is present. Let it go. If it ain't helping you, it's hurting you. Let it go. If you cannot grow from it, then you're dying from it. Let it go. If it don't make you smile, let it go. If it's not enhancing your life, let it go. If it looks like a duck, smell like a duck, quack like a duck, walk like a duck, then doggone it, it is a duck. Turn to somebody and say, let it go. Point number 2. Not only is God is present, but our God is personal. Turn to somebody and say, our God is personal. Notice what the scripture says in the same verse, verse 10, Isaiah 41. He says, be not dismayed, for I am thy God. Oh, I might not even get to point 5 this morning. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. Now, what is he saying here is today that you need to develop a personal relationship with God. Now, see, this is the kicker. This is the key. This is what some of us been missing. We've been moving on grandmama's religion. We've been pulling on mama's string. We've been pulling the coattail of the deacons and the mothers and the preachers in the church. But you need to grow to the point where you develop your own personal relationship with God. Baby, if you are a believer, you need to know how to get on your face, talk to God, and get through it by yourself. If you can't find a prayer warrior, if you cannot find somebody to touch and agree, because you know everybody don't want good to happen to you. You got to be careful who hands you touching anyway. You could be touching a hater. You could be touching somebody. Girl, believe God with me that my marriage will get saved. They ain't praying for your marriage to get saved. They want your man. They ain't praying for you. They praying against you. So you got to be careful whose hands you are holding, because every hand that you are holding is not touching and agreeing with you. So what I'm saying is this, that you need to develop a personal relationship with God. That means that you got to grunt it through. That means you got to fight it through. That means that you got to do some things in order to get to know God better. That means that you may have to turn off BETGCI. Can't get no help up in here, and you got to open up your Bible, get on your face and say, Lord, I need to know you in the power of your resurrection. You got to get to know God, and I promise you this, once you get to know him for yourself, baby, you'll wear a sign on your back, put your hand on your hip, strut your stuff, and you'll tell the world it's a personal thing. You ain't got to shout when I shout. You ain't got to jump up when I jump up. You ain't got to say amen when I say amen. Baby, it's a personal. High five somebody, tell them it's a personal thing. God said, be not dismayed. Be not dismayed. I am your God. If he is our God, I'm not talking about your buddy. I'm not talking about your friend. I'm not talking about your pal, because we got friends and people and family, pals, buddies that we count on and who's there for us. But let's face it, people can only do so much. Now, I don't know if you experienced this, but I had problems where I call people who I love, people who I trust, people who I can lean on, and sometimes before I can get mine out, they got theirs in. And I felt so bad that theirs was so deep that I couldn't even get mine out. Have y'all ever tried to dump and somebody dumped before you dumped? What I'm simply trying to say, God is saying, don't worry about that. I would always leave the door open. I would always leave a road that can take you to me, for I am your God. If I'm your God, that means that I'm responsible for you. If I am your God, that means that I will not allow anything to happen to you. If I am your God, then I want you to know that you must look at my track record. I've never lost a fight. I never lost a battle. I never lost a war. I am your God. You need to look at what I'm capable of doing. I am thy God. I am the Lord God that healeth thee. I am your God. Have you taken a look at my record, what I have done? You need to have a personal relationship with God, and a personal relationship will keep you going when everything else around you have broken down. Baby, sometime all I can go on is what I know. Ain't got no money, ain't got no friends, ain't got no job, but I got God on my side. And if I got the Lord on my side, I know that somehow, some way, it's going to work together for my good. Point 3. God is powerful. Notice what the scripture says, same verse 10, same chapter, Isaiah 41. He says that I will strengthen thee. Now I like this, and let me tell you why. When the Lord says to us, first, that I will strengthen thee, it suggests to me that God knows already that I need strength. If he says that I will strengthen thee, then God knows that I have the capacity capacity to get weak. If God did not prophesy that I will strengthen thee, that would suggest that God knew that I would have it all together all the time. But because God has the ability to look through the telescope of time and see that even though we have righteous hearts and even though we may have our act together, he understands that there will come times in your life where you will need to be strengthened. And I would argue with you today that if you're doing it right, I'm talking about doing it right, you're going to need some strength. I'm talking about if you're giving what God gave you, if you're standing where God told you to stand, if you're doing what God told you to do, baby, your body, your mind, your soul will get weak. Do I have any Christians in here that can tell you that I got weak? I almost gave up. I almost quit. But I remember what Galatians said. Don't be weary in well doing, for you shall reap if you faint not. I remembered what 1 Corinthians 15 says, that God has already given us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. Baby, God said that I will strengthen thee. Our God is powerful, which means that he is omnipotent, which means that all the power and all the strength that you would ever need in this life is already incorporated into God. God don't have to go get strength. He don't have to go get power. He don't have to find another way to do what he's already done. God compasses the ability to do what you need done, and he said that I have it already. I'm glad about that, because if it was me, I have to wait until I get some strength. I got to go take me a nap. Do I have a witness in here? And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I got to put on my Superman outfit. I can't get no help in here. I got to eat my underdog pill. I can't get no help up in here. I got to do what I got to do in order to get my strength. Sometimes I got to turn my telephone off. Sometimes I got to avoid certain type of people. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes I got to get moody so I can come out of this. I don't mean to be like this, but baby, I'm jacked up today. And if I get into any confrontation, if I get into any type of fight, the devil gonna tip me over. But I'm so glad if I can ever put what I have into the hands of God. How many folks know that God has the ability to strengthen what is left? I heard him say in Revelation, strengthen what remains. Many times in our life we weep and cry over things that we lost, but God does not say what you lost he's going to give back. What God says to us today, that what remains, I have the ability to make it better and stronger just for you. Turn to somebody and say, use what you got, use what left. Don't worry about what you gave up. Don't worry about what you lost. Don't worry about what the enemy took. Baby, you can make up your mind today that I got a little strength left, and I guarantee you, if you take your little strength and put it in the hands of God, little becomes much. When it's placed in the master's hands, he can take a few fish and some loaves and he can multiply. Turn to somebody and say, get ready for your overflow. Point 4 is getting hot in here. Our God is present. Our God is personal. Our God is powerful. And our God is practical. Turn to somebody and say, he's practical. He said, yes, I will help thee. He's a practical God. He's not a God that lives in the cosmos. He's not a God that is distant and far from us. He's not a God that only grandmama understands. He's not a God that is complicated, who cannot be reached, whose wisdom cannot be understood. He's not a God that is limited in his abilities. God is practical. God deals with us where we live at. And what I really like about God, God don't judge us. And what I mean by that is that we tend to judge one another. The church ought to be a place where you can find refuge. The church should be a place where you can get free. But in many of our churches, it has become a place where we begin to judge folks. If they don't look like we look, if they don't dress like we dress, if they don't smell the way we smell, if they don't drive what we drive, if they don't live where we live, then we pass judgment. But God doesn't pass judgment. on where I am, he extends to you and I an invitation to leave from where we are and to get to where he called us to be. He's practical, meaning that he has to do what he has to do to get us out what we are in. That means that he has to understand the deepness of our problem. He has to understand the inside stuff. And what I found out is that most of my problems are not external, but I wrestle with internal stuff that I don't own up to. So what I'm simply trying to say to you today is that many of the things that you are struggling with, you're blaming it on this and you're blaming it on that, this person and that person. I would dare you and challenge you to look in your life today and find out if that's really the problem. Could you be the problem? Do I have a witness in here? Baby, when you messed up on the inside, you see jacked up stuff on the outside. When you're insecure on the inside, you can look at people whispering to one another and you would declare that they talking about you. Now I wonder what they talking about now. Oh, I can't stand them. They talking about me. I know they talking about me. They didn't say nothing until I can't. Baby, when you messed up on the inside, you'll let the devil trick you every time on the outside. But God saying, yeah, I will help you. I'll help you with your brokenness. I'll help you with being messed up. I'll help you with insecurities. I'll help you to become a better person. I know you've been trying all year to stop this and get better, and that God said you can't do it by yourself. You need somebody greater than yourself. You need somebody that have the power and the ability to do it. I stopped by to tell you that God is a practical God. Do I have a witness in here? He have been known to go in furnaces, to hang out in lions' den. He's been known to go deep into the desert only to feed people. He's known to hang around graveyards and bring folks out of the graveyard that been there for 4 days. He's known to do weird things, meeting people where they live, preaching to a man up in the tree named Zacchaeus that wanted to see him so bad. He's practical that he stopped for a publican, a sinner. He's practical that he hired a disciple named Matthew, who was in fact a thief, was stealing money from his own people. He's practical. He understands your weaknesses, your fallacies. He understands that you're not all of that. He understands that you're trying to get to where you're going, and that's what I like about God. He helps me to get to where I'm going. He don't cut me down, cut me off. He's practical. He say, yeah, I would help you. In other words, if you put what you have in my hand, I'll show you that I'll keep it. I heard Jesus say in the 10th chapter of St. John that those that I hold in my hand, no man is able to pluck them out. He's practical. He can keep you. He can hold you. Do I have a witness in here? And some of you out there don't believe that you can be kept. Now, somebody help me preach today. Do I have any ex-drug addicts out there that can help me preach today that Jesus is able to keep you from going back to your drug habit? Do I have just one person out there? Do I have anybody out there that used to fool around with alcohol? Will God dry it up in you? Somebody here need to understand that he's practical. You don't have to live the life you live. You don't have to sleep with that. You don't have to sleep with that man's wife. Neither do you have to lay down with that woman's husband. How many folks can testify that regardless of how good it look, if you want to be kept by God, God can keep you. He's able to keep you from falling. He's able to keep whatever you give to him. He's able to keep what you commit to him. What I'm simply trying to tell you, that he is a practical God. Point 5, I'm finna fall out. I can get out of here. God is present, personal, and powerful. God is practical. Point 5, our God is permanent. Turn to somebody and say, he's a permanent God. He's a permanent God. He says in that same verse, number 10, chapter 41 of Isaiah, he said, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Now, I don't know about you, but I just got a little strength off that. Because now I understand that I am not responsible for holding up myself. Some of y'all came to church just like this. You was reared back. You should have fallen out, but somebody was holding you up. You don't even understand why you ain't fell out yet. You don't even understand how you're still falling, but somebody can testify that God will hold you up when you feel falling, when you feel like giving up, I wish I had 3 witnesses in this house that can testify that he will uphold thee. He'll hold you up. Have you ever wanted to quit, even when it's far, and convince yourself to quit, and then justified it in yourself why you could quit? I can't get no honest help up in here. You said to yourself, well, I ain't did it in 9 months. God understands. This was a long time since I did it the last time. I just don't know it. Look like I'm gonna have to go down that road, and you convince yourself to go down it because your flesh wanted it. And that's why we do what we do. We blame it on the devil. But the devil needs to use something that you give to him in order to conquer you. And what we give to the devil is our attitude, our weaknesses. We expose to him the things that we like that God told us to hate. I can't get no help up in here. And once he figured out that, oh, it's blue, it's not orange, change it. She's not turned on by orange, it's sky blue. Then the devil go back and he repaint everything, and then he find a fake fragrance that you like. It's not lemon lime, it's sun-kissed orange. They change it and spray that on it, and then the devil parade it in front of you. They had a movie out that said the devil wear Pradas. I don't know. So maybe somebody can testify to that today, that the devil wear Pradas. I can tell you one thing, the devil ain't nothing ugly, because I don't like ugly things. So I know for a fact he ain't ugly. When the devil comes, he's coming with some pretty cool things. He's coming with some high-tech stuff. He's coming with some stuff that's going to make you look not once but twice. I can't get no honest help up in here. When the devil pimp up in here, he's going to pimp up here straight. He's going to pimp up here with some authority and with some rights. And he know he only got one shot at it. He ain't going to bring nothing ugly and distasteful before you. When he bring it before you, his plan is to make you weak to what God said you're already strong to it. But notice what the Lord says here. He says that I'm permanent. He says that I want to do something for you. If you're able to do all of these other things, if you're able to trust me with my presence and deal with me on a personal level and understand my powerfulness and understand that I'm a practical God. God said that if you let me in, I become permanent in your life. And he said, and I will show myself in your life. And that's what I like about God. He shows up in our life and things that we thought we couldn't do. He gives us the strength before the task even come our way. And we find ourselves on the other side of our success, asking ourselves, how did I make it over? I wasn't supposed to make it, but God said that when you let me come in, when you don't allow yourself to be tricked by your problems, when you allow yourself to know that I am permanent, I will uphold you with my right hand. What God is saying to us today, that my right hand is permanent. God wants us to fall in love with his hands, not with our hands, because our hands are weak, our hands are limited, our hands can only go so far, our hands become frustrated, our hands become wasteful. But God said that I don't need your hands. You need to put your hands in my hands, and when I hold you with my hand, something is going to happen to you that never happened before. Because first of all, you got to understand that you're now in the hands of the man that steal the waters. You're in the hands of an awesome God, a God that made heaven and earth. That's God's hands. Have anybody ever trusted in his hands? I stopped by to testify for 15 15 seconds that the hand of God would go down to the judicial courthouse and stand there and raise up a standard that before I get there, the hand of God have made it right for me. Do I have a witness here? Have anybody here ever gone to court guilty as sin, but the hand of God showed you mercy, showed you grace, and the outcome is not what the law dictated, but favor fell on you? That's the hand of God. His hand have went before me, ran down to the hospital, got on the x-rays before it got on me, removed what was there before it knew it left, and when I got there and the second opinion had to come in, God's hands healed my body. Can anybody testify that the hand of God will heal your body? Is there anybody out there? Have you ever been healed by the hand of God? I know what the hand of God is able to do. Not only can it heal, not only can it deliver, but the hand of God will protect you. Do I have anybody here that can testify? I was surrounded. I should have been robbed. I should have been raped. I should have been shot. But the hand of God came in my life, showed me what his power is all about. I will uphold thee with my right hand and with my righteousness. I'll stop by to let you know, don't get tricked by your troubles. The Bible said that he's there all the time. If God is all of this, if he's present, if he's personal, if he's powerful, if he's permanent, if he's practical, then somebody please answer the question, what is the problem? Why are we crying? Why are we in pain? Why are we living in defeat? I stopped by to shake your house in this hot church to let you know that God is not the problem, but the problem is you and I. We refuse to stand on what he says. We refuse to trust God at his word. The battle have already been fought. The victory have already been won. What you and I need to do is walk in victory, talk in victory, act like a victory. Do I have a witness here? Tell your neighbor, act like you got it. Act like it. Stop talking about it, but act like what you prayed about it's already happened. Act like that the problem that you're going through it's only temporary. Act like what God said, I believe it, and that settles it. Act like everything I need is already done. Act like if God said it, it shall come to pass. I resolve today, do what you want to do, but as for me, in my house, I will don't let, I will not allow my problems to trick me. That's what I got to let you know. Stop allowing your problems to trick you to depression, trick you to loneliness, trick you to your hard times. Don't allow the enemy to come in like a flood, but stand your grounds, knowing your heart that the all-powerful God will raise up a standard. Can anybody testify that the Lord will raise me up, raise me up? He will raise you up. Have the Lord ever hidden you from your enemies? Have the Lord ever hidden you under the shadow of his almighty wing? Turn to your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm his wing. The enemy cannot touch you. The enemy cannot bring you down. Raise up your hands. Say, Lord, thank you for my victory. Now you ought to act like it. Act like it.